9, 10.
Oklahoma City. Welcome back to Super Radio. I'm Miles Perry. I heard Jamin Dawson at the Super Command Center. Excuse me. Jamin, how are you?
Man, I'm doing good. Usually when I come in, it's like super hot, but today it really wasn't that bad. It says 100. You know, we'll take what we can get. This Oklahoma Heat.
No, it's a nice day outside. You know, for it's August. It doesn't feel like August. I'm surprised it's August. So football season's in a couple weeks for college football. Preseason's around the corner.
I think the Hall of Fame game is tonight.
Yeah, it is. I heard that on the radio today. I didn't even know it was tonight. I should have known that. There's something I should have known. But no, it's football season, and I'm excited to see, you know, what is in store and whatnot. But before we bring on, we do have a special guest coming on, Will Green from Super Prep, also radio host of 105.3 K Jams. Will, we see you, brother. How are you?
What up, man? Chilling. Good day always.
It's a great day as always. And Will, before we get to you, I want to say this: there is a big announcement that is going to happen here sooner or later. with the 6A boys basketball coach, ladies and gentlemen. I can't announce it yet, but here in a second, when I get the green light, we'll make that announcement here. But Will, what's going on in Tulsa, brother? For the people down here in Oklahoma City that don't know who you are, let us know real quick.
Hey, I'm Will Green. I'm basically the Tulsa correspondent for all things Super Prep. I also work for 105.3 K-Jams. I host my own show on Saturday. And really, whatever is needed, I do. And, I get outside a lot. I'm ready for the fall, man.
Will's outside, ladies and gentlemen. He's outside a lot. Will, what's going on in Tulsa? Let us know what's going on in Tulsa down here in Oklahoma City.
Well, unless anybody was living under a rock, Jock Mitchell went to East Central, and that was like that blew up the internet. Because, Jock left Booker T to go to EC, and now everybody's saying East Central is primed to win 5A. I don't know if it'll happen, but they got as good of a shot as anybody, and that caused a whole lot of chatter about, the whole transfer portal this and why do kids leave to go to this school or that school. And it was a whole, everybody had an opinion on it, and yeah, it got pretty live out here for that.
And I bet Jamin could even say something on this. People down here in OKC, I don't know if they would agree with your statement on, East Central as a favorite of 5A, because I think some people think Carl Albert is going to be this. So 5A is going to be interesting. What do you think, Jay?
Very interesting. You got Coach Williams going from Millwood to Carl Albert, bringing some guys with him too. But Carl Albert still has some guys. They played in the state championship game and lost, so they've got a lot of good returners. But East Central's building something very good. And that's shocking to see Jock leave Booker T after he's won a state championship and they've had so much success as well.
And he's he's got a lot of his accolades. When I say accolades, I mean offers and stars while he was at Booker T. But it changes up Tulsa for real. Will, how has it changed the landscape of Tulsa high school basketball?
Well, Booker T's moving up to 6A, so there's that too. So now everybody was already like, okay, Booker T, the big bad wolf is gone. We don't got to worry about Booker T in 5A. Now Jock done went to East Central, so now everybody's looking at East Central like this is the team to beat. I talked to some of the coaches up at EC. I heard some teams are scared to play East Central. I don't know how true it is, but that's what I was told. I know a lot of people got Carl Albert winning. Carl Albert lost to Newcastle last year at state. That was a crazy game. He lost on a game winner. But I mean, I'm from the town. I'm rooting for East Central. I'm rooting for all the town, period, really. But East Central got a really good shot, and I'm just excited to see.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens with 5A. The favorite right now is Carl Albert. And I think a lot of teams can shake it up. Also, I think people forget about Midwest City. They're going to be good. And I think people forget in Tulsa about Tulsa Memorial. They're always good. Coach Allison, shout out to Coach Allison. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting. And I don't know what – I'm excited for basketball season. I'm not going to lie. I love football, but man.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Football cool, but I'm ready.
Wait.
I'm ready.
No, I can't wait. But Will, what else is going on? Let's talk about Booker T. I think I hate to say it like this, but they're talking about Booker T, but they're not talking about Booker T. What's going on with Booker T? I think they didn't just lose Jock. They lost a couple other players. Well, who else did they lose? A big player that people should know about.
Yeah, we lost Kamen. Kamen went back to Broken Arrow. A couple football players went to Owasso. It hurts me because y'all know I'm a Booker T grad. I went to Booker T, so whenever everybody gets to talking about my school, I feel a way. But I mean, I think that's just what it is. That's how the climate of high school sports is changing. These kids want to win. These kids want to go to their whatever's in their best interest, whether that be playing with their friends or playing with a school they already went to, because Kamen went to Broken Arrow already. He just went back to Broken Arrow. And Jock went to East Central, but them is his boys. They all been hooping together forever. So it's like part of it, people look at it as like people are leaving Booker T just because they leaving, but the other part of it is like these are still kids, and sometimes they just want to play with their friends because these guys all want to go to college, and not everybody's going to go to the same place. So do what you can, do what's best for you, and as a Booker T grad, we gonna be good. We gonna be straight. I'm not worried. We gonna be all right.
Ladies and gentlemen, sorry to interrupt you, Will. The announcement I was going to make, Chevis Smith, the Dell City head coach, has taken a job at Norman North. That is just we have just posted that 6 minutes ago at Super Prep. And, yeah, so, yeah. It's going. So there's a 5A team that I don't want to say this went down. Because if you guys are following this, two of his players already transferred to Norman North yesterday. So it's real deal Holyfield out here in these high school streets.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you guys think about that?
These kids
Dell City just went down in 5A off of a coaching change.
Well, I mean, Dell City, they played in the state tournament last season, and they had some success. Of course, they fell short of the ultimate goal. But, you know, when you're looking at continuity, it starts with the leadership. So when you see coaches leave, of course, the players have built relationships with those coaches, and they have a level of trust of what each other is going to expect on the court. So, of course, some of them are going to go. That's definitely going to take a hit. But for Norman North, I mean, that's outstanding.
It is outstanding for Norman North. I'm happy for Chev. I talked to him a couple days yesterday about it. He's happy. He's excited. He's excited. New opportunity. You know, and I'm not going to get into the political side of everything. There's nothing to talk about here. But, you know, it's going to be different. I think Norman will have two good basketball teams now. You know, Norman High, they just came off a state championship run with Coach Cole. Now they got another team across the street is good. Yeah. So that rivalry is going to be restored in basketball. It's there in football, but it's restored now in basketball. Yeah. So 6A is going to be interesting now. That's a team to look out for now. I think Chev can turn them around and get them to compete in playoffs right away. Not next year now, and transition into something more in the next year. But he's taken two teams the last 2 years to the state tournament. 5A. He took Long to the state championship 2025, and he took Dell City to the state tournament last year. So it's going to be interesting. Man, it doesn't stop. I feel like how we recovering high school sports now is like college or pro. So,
yeah.
Well, no, yeah. Jay, you should also. I don't know if y'all saw Jamin's face when I said Chev was going to Dell City. He looked at me like.
Yeah, because some of it you just don't expect, but, you know, just a different opportunity, like you said, for the kids and for the coaches. Norman North has everything they need to succeed. So
Bobby over here commenting on the post too. I'm sorry, I usually don't get on my phone during the show, but my phone is blowing up right now. Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. No, Will, but before we let you go, brother, and this is gonna be every Thursday. Will's gonna come on here, you guys, and talk about what's going on in Tulsa, and give you guys an update. Look at Tulsa for football, basketball, really all sports. He's connected in the Tulsa streets. He is, you know, the guy for Super Up in Tulsa. If you want to be Super Up in Tulsa, go talk to my man Will Green at 105 KJMs. But no, Will, you got anything else to say before?
Yep.
You got anything
I want to give a shout out to a Booker T grad.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, shout out to Booker T grad Kyler Brown. He's running. He's at U20 Nationals right now. He just ran 10, 16, and 10, 13 in the 100, and he runs again tonight at 11 o'clock in Oregon. So shout out Kyler Brown. You know, I gotta prop my Tulsa athletes, especially the Booker T grad. So he's an All-American at Ohio State right now. So yeah, big shout out to him.
They're doing big things.
Big things. Noel, we appreciate you for coming on. Super Radio. We'll see you next week. Keep holding it down for us in Tulsa.
Yes, sir.
And yeah.
Yep.
It's gonna be interesting for basketball season. Will's we're gonna be talking when basketball season comes on and football, but basketball season is gonna be Will's a basketball guy.
So, wait.
But appreciate you for coming on. Will, we'll talk to you next week.
Yes, sir. I'll tap in with y'all boys next week.
Yes, sir. Be easy, man.
Peace. Oklahoma City. I'm Miles Perry with Jamin Doss here, Super Command Center. I just announced Chevis Smith, Dell City head coach, has taken the job in Norman North and leaving Dell City. We have a great show for you guys, though. You know, not just about breaking news, But Jamie, what do you think about that before I tell the people to line up for the show real quick?
Man, I mean, great breaking news, great coverage by yourself. But, yeah, just real interesting to see. Of course, we got football season, like you said. But.
No, ladies and gentlemen, Oklahoma City, we got the Langston head women's basketball coach here, Crystal Robinson. Coach Robinson, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me today, guys.
Coach, I know I was telling you about some breaking news earlier. I'll tell you what we just announced. Chevy Smith, Dell City head boys basketball coach, just took the job at Norman North.
Oh, yes. I knew that was happening because Kenyon Brown, KB, is my cousin.
Okay.
So KB had transferred over there, so he found out before everybody else that he has taken that job. So I knew that kind of. I think I had
She had the inside scoop?
Yeah, I had the inside scoop on that one, but yeah.
Coach, how you been?
I'm great.
I want to say congratulations on the new job. And what are you looking forward to at Langston?
Everything. This is going to be my first HBCU experience. Like, I'm over there going in the lunchroom because they have a DJ in the lunchroom every day. Like, it's just a great experience, Langston. The energy, the kids. I'm excited to be a part of it and have the opportunity to experience it.
Talk about how special of an opportunity it is to step into that spot for Langston after they've already been so successful, but your job is to take it up a step higher.
Well, I don't know if you've ever coached. I don't know if any coach in the country would call that a special situation. That's called pressure. Going into an organization behind someone who's been 85-5 or an organization that's been really, really good is not easy at all. You have to come in and, and then you're changing some things and learning new insights. I'd say it's a challenge that I welcome to the fullest, but I would never say that it's going to be an easy challenge simply because I know the SAC. I mean, I feel like the SAC is the old OIC. I've coached against some of the coaches in this league, and there are some very, very, very good coaches in this league. Scott over at MacU, I have a huge amount of respect for the way he coaches the game. Snoo, it's just some really good coaches in this league that I'm looking forward to matching up against as an older coach instead of a younger coach.
Coach, what are you looking forward to in building in your program now in a new era at Langston? What's your program look like?
I think my program it'll be an up-tempo program that plays more of a pro style. You won't see me playing 2-3 zones. I want my game to be exciting. People like to come to basketball to watch high-scoring games. People, especially women's sports. If you watch the WNBA and some of these leagues now, they're averaging in the 80s and 90s. Very few people want to come. It's a stigma to women's basketball, I'd say, staying in the 50s and the 60s. And I want to play an up-tempo style to where it's an exciting style that people really want to come and see. The only thing we won't have is the dunking that the guys do right now. Okay.
Not yet. I was about to say, I know
yet.
some girls can dunk.
The girls definitely can dunk. I'm just saying we don't have one yet.
So Langston's going to get one. Mm-hmm. That's what I hear from it. So
look forward to seeing that too. Yeah. So, Coach, in recruiting, what do you really want to voice to recruits that you want to bring into your program about what they should expect and what that'll look like when they get there?
I think that the biggest thing that I can tell recruits to come into my program is you have to come into my program ready to learn. There's so much more to basketball than playing one-on-one. And, you watch travel ball. I love travel ball, but most coaches press, and it's a one-on-one game. But when you get to higher level basketball, if you don't understand how to counter plays when people take things away from you, and then what you're going to do when they do that, if you don't learn to really play this game in your head, it's unrealistic for you to win championships. So I would tell people if they want to be recruited by me, I'm looking for smart players that have engines and play hard, that want to really learn this game at a high level.
And piggybacking on what you said about travel ball, AAU, for listeners and viewers, travel ball is AAU ball. Do you think they're teaching more IQ basketball or less IQ basketball?
I think they're teaching less IQ basketball, and everybody in the world's going to be mad at me for saying this, but I really don't care. Not every travel ball coach even has the ability to. They're self-made coaches. That's the best way to say it. Half of them's never executed half of the things they're teaching you. Half of them's never won a championship. Half of them probably made the JV team. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Richie Adubato coached me in the pros. He didn't play a professional basketball, but he studied the game very in-depthly and taught at a high level. And that's the thing I feel like travel ball misses the most. The high-level teams in travel ball, those kids play a high-level basketball and they outthink the game. So that's where I think now, when I played travel ball, only the best of the best played. Now it's a money-making business. It's like a $17 billion a year business. You know, just like anything, there's a lot of things falling through the cracks when you have that many people. It's not that many professionals in that. That's what you're saying, what I'm telling you.
And what do you think about it being a money business? You know, it's supposed to be amateur sports. And you grew up in a time period where kids, you were probably getting paid here and there under the table, you know, going to college, but now it's an AAU. What do you think about that?
Oh, I'm very for it. I think it needs to be regulated, and I think it needs to come with money mastering classes. Once you get an NIL, you should have to have it, at least a year or two of your studies should be in finance. You need to learn how to use your money. You need to know how to make your money last. I think it's great because these kids' names and likenesses is what's bringing millions of dollars to this institution. Why shouldn't they get a piece of the pie? So I definitely agree with it. I just would like to see a lot more teaching and a lot more regulation. It's just like anybody. If I give you $7 million, you probably you might be a little bit more mature, but most people your age is going to go crazy with that. You know what I mean? But it should be a lot more parameters about you get your money when you have financial people in place. Different things like that, I feel like they should, so this money is lasting money. Because we all know fast money doesn't normally last, especially in our community. We need to learn the value of the dollar, and the value of a dollar is not in a $200,000 car. But
Do you think like implementing some of that earlier, like the NIL things, maybe in the past, like when you were playing, would that like build more structure to what it is now and maybe make it a better thing?
I think just like anything new, like it just wasn't the time for it at that point in time. You know what I mean? I think at any point in time they could have done this, but it wasn't the time for it. Now is the time, and it's just that they have to figure out how they're going to really manage that, and for it to be productive, beneficial. I mean, giving somebody that much money could destroy their life right off the bat. You know, if you don't really know how to understand how to manage that kind of money. So, yeah.
At the NAIA level, do you think NIL can be implemented and at that level of basketball, or it's going to take some time? I know, you know, at Division I schools, they have boosters and collectives of, you know, donate money religiously. Do you think Langston or at that level can have that type of influence?
Well, I think that we will have an NIL, and we do. I think the NAIA just has to come to terms with how to distribute it. They're not looking at how NCAA is doing it. They're not doing this. I think the biggest thing in the NIL, in the NAIA that's going to hurt NIL is parity. They want everybody to be equal. If we have the ability to raise $250,000 for our NIL, but this school can't, we're going to buy all the good players. And I think the NAIA cares about that more than the NCAA does. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they want more balance.
It's a different, I think, what they are trying to construe. They're building doctors and lawyers and professionals in a different area, if you understand what I'm saying. Because some of these private schools around here have some of the best education. Southern Nazarene's one that you can get in the world, in the United States. But the NAIA is just going to have to really come to terms and figure out how they're going to handle it. But there definitely will be NIL money, but I think it's going to largely depend on your ability to raise money, just like it does at the NCAA. You know?
And Coach, I want to change the topic up to you coaching and playing. You played at elite levels your whole life. How does playing at all those elite levels, especially the WNBA, help you in coaching and seeing the game from a different perspective?
Well, I think that just I've learned so much. Lots of the things that I learned as a player, like, you know, today they got trainers everywhere. I didn't have those. The things I learned about basketball, I learned on my own. Or then I got with a high school coach that taught me a lot. I was very lucky to have him. Then I got in the pros with a coach that taught me a lot. I just think that the things that I feel like that I bring to the table for high school players is teaching them the ability. When I was a 6th overall pick in the WNBA, and I was an NAIA player. That hasn't happened since me. But I think that we have a level of basketball that has a good level of players that can have the ability to go to Athletes Unlimited or to go to the WNBA. But I don't think that is in their review. In their mind, they think they can't. But you can. What you believe is what you create. And that's something I want to bring back to this level. I think that there's probably 5 or 6 players at this level that could compete in the WNBA. And the more players that we get from this level, getting entertainment from the WNBA, the more it helps the NAIA itself.
And did you always envision yourself as a coach through your playing career, or is that just an opportunity
Ever
that
since
presented?
I was a little kid, I feel so blessed and to be able to do exactly what I wanted to do. Life changes for people. You say, "Oh, I'm gonna be a doctor," and then something happens and your life gets steered. I've always wanted to be a coach, and I have been fortunate to be able to live out my dreams. And being a coach is the thing I value the most about it is teaching people that they can knock down walls. They can be the things that they want to be, helping them believing in people until they believe in themselves. And I think that's what the essence of coaching is. And teaching people how to knock down the walls that are hard for them. When you want to quit, what's going to make you keep going? And to me, that's what being a good coach is about, because it correlates to everything in life. Because everything is not always easy. Are you going to quit, or are you going to knock that wall down? And I'm a big believer, and I teach my kids, I'm a solution-focused person. I'm not a problem-focused person. So I spend all my energy figuring out how to fix things, not all my energy focused on talking about the problem. The problem is what the problem is. We got to figure it out and how to fix it. We're not going to spend a lot of time dwelling on the problem. So.
And, Coach, I want to kind of go back. You said something about players at this level or in high school believing they can get somewhere. What do you tell high school kids that can go play at the NAIA level and still, possibly transfer to D1 or D2 and get the experience they hoped and dreamed for as a kid? Because I talk to a lot of kids, and I kind of pitched them, like, you go to Langston, now Oklahoma City University as well, and some other schools in that region. You can still play there and go and possibly play good and go get in the portal and go D1. And they look at me like I'm crazy. How would you?
Okay, I'll give you an example. I was volunteering at Boston College, just helping out last year, and we took the MVP of the NAIA. She was the MVP of the NAIA tournament. We took her. Very first game, she scored 25 points against UConn. After that, it was excuses. She didn't want to come to practice. She didn't want to do this. She didn't want to do that. The thing that I would tell them most is be prepared for your opportunity when it arrives. If you coming from the NAIA and you get picked up and somebody gives you $90,000, $100,000 to come up to the NCAA, be prepared for the work. Are you happy with just making the money, or do you want to be an impact on the team? Do you understand what I'm saying? So that would be, and I think that has a lot to do with confidence. You have to have the confidence when you go to that next level to know that your skill set's going to match. You can't be in your mind thinking, "Oh, I came from the NAIA, I'm lucky to be here." Do you know what I mean? And that's what I saw from her, is that she was not prepared for the opportunity. She was used to lots of schools function. They do what they want. They don't work out when they want. I'm the best player. You have to be prepared to do the things that it takes when you do get that opportunity.
And what do those summer preparations look like for you? Because you've excelled at every level. So players just trying to develop or, expand their game, what does that look like when they're working on their game day in and day out?
What it looks like, I see kids in the gym all day. They just catching the ball, shooting it. Catching the ball, shooting it. Your work in the gym has to be game-like. If I was to take you to a professional athlete's one-on-one training, they would be shocked that they are playing like they're playing in a game. Everything has to feel like it's supposed to feel in a game. That way, if you're taking that shot like this in the game, you're sped up and you're not practicing at the right pace. That's the advice I would give to kids working out today. If you're in the gym working, you got to work at pace. You got to work as fast do it as fast as you can. It's not just in there going through the motions. So that would be, when I was in high school, my freshman year, I learned how to post up. I didn't do anything but post up. My sophomore year, my coach added mid-range game. I didn't do anything but post up mid-range. My junior year, he added a 3 in the summer. My senior year, I was a complete player. I think kids work on too many things. They want to go out and do this and that, step away and do all of that, and they can't even make a regular pull-up jump shot 7 out of 10 times with nobody guarding them. They overwork on things that they can't execute. So there's elite level players that can do it, but for the most part, they can't. You can be a better player just by being consistent. Consistently making threes, consistently guarding your man. You can do more for your team doing that than you can being that hot shot guy.
Coach, I want to ask you this, switching topic on the women's basketball as a whole. The game has exploded in the last few years, especially the WNBA. Where do you think the women's game is heading in the next 5 to 10 years?
First, I'd like to say that I don't think that there's not one WNBA player, former, that didn't believe that this would happen one day. We all believed that this was going to happen one day. We just didn't know when, and everybody hoped it would be during our time, but we all believed it. I think the sky's the limit for women's basketball. I think that eventually you're going to see women's basketball playing in the winter with the men. We might not play on the same days, but the way they're adding teams to the WNBA, there's no way they're going to be able to stay with the summer season. They have 18 teams. It's detrimental to players' health to ask them to play 5 games a week. So they have to put it in a longer period of time so they can stretch those games out a little further. I predict that eventually the WNBA will move to a winter sport. It won't be a summer sport. But it might start earlier than the NBA, so our playoffs will be over when theirs starts. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, and it's not just women's basketball, it's women's sports in general. I mean, women's softball is exploding, women's volleyball is exploding. It's just a great time in life. Everybody's finally catching on about women's sports. And I also think women players have evolved. Our mindsets have changed. I think that when you put people in the box and say, hey, you play this way, that's how you play. These new girls are doing things that it was a hot dog when you did it when we played it. So, you know, the game is just evolving in so many good ways at the right time.
If you talk to my mom, she always has said this since me and my brother were younger. She goes, girls are more fundamentally sound than boys.
It's true.
You know, and as I watch girls basketball, it is very true. And you can tell they work it.
Why? You know why that is?
Is it do men that more athletic than women?
Yes,
yeah.
Because you can make up for mistakes faster than we can. So we have to get it. Like if you are going full speed and you fumble something and I fumble it, me picking up and back up to speed is going to be way different than how you do it. So your mom's really, really, really right about that. Our game is definitely a much more fundamental game, but I think girls have gotten so much better with the ball that y'all's fancy's above the rim, but we got girls that can do some Olivia Miles and Chelsea Gray and Kelsey Plum and Skylar Diggins, and some of these girls can do some pretty amazing things with the ball in their hands.
No, they can. Kelsey Plum had a great game the night. Her stat line was great.
Wale is one of the best players with the ball in her hands in the league. But yeah, that's just some players that can do some fantastic things.
Do you think you can see a woman being a head coach in the NBA one day?
Me?
Yes.
I don't know. I've coached at that level for a lot. I don't honestly like it. It's babysitting.
Okay.
It's babysitting. And once you add money completely, that's what's matter with this NIL. Money completely changes things, because when it really boils down to it, kids are not ready for the expectations of that money. If I pay you $5 million to do a job, I expect you to do your job. Do you understand what I'm saying? If I'm giving you $5 million a year like an NBA guy's, and he lays an egg for a season, his money's going down. Now, these kids want this money, but I don't think they truly understand what comes along with the money. They happy to have the money, but if I'm giving you $5 million, I expect you to be great every night. And to me, they still have a juvenile mindset about that, some of them.
Do you think college sports with NIL and the collectives and And as you would hear people like Brent Venables and Jim Nagy at OU football, they have a GM now, and I've heard that it depends on your play, right? Your what you're putting out on performance. It depends on how you're getting paid. It values. They're starting to implement that in certain. I think Clemson does it. I think, more pro style pay system. Do you think that's going to benefit those kids when they go to the NFL or this in pro sports?
I think that it gets them ready for what they're going into. Like your mindset, like that's what I'm saying. Their mind's not ready for it yet. This gets their mind ready for pro sports for sure.
Yeah.
Gets their mind ready for in understanding. College has a little bit more of it's a job in pros. Like I am Texas, or let's say the Rangers, or the Cowboys are better. Cowboy fans, like if you're Texas, you're Texas, and you support that. There's so many ways that this could go, and I just looking forward for the NCAA to find a good solution for everybody. That everybody gets what's best for them out of it. Like, you wouldn't give your kid a gun and say, go out and do whatever you want to do with it. Like, I'm telling you, giving somebody $5 million that don't know what to do with it it's insane to me. So
that is insane.
it's not insane. It just has to be regulated.
It needs to be regulated. It's the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, it's the Wild Wild West.
And I was talking to the newly hired AD of Tulsa Public Schools, Eric McCurdy, and he said, because he worked, he was the president of basketball operations for Houston basketball for a little bit, and he worked at Seattle Public Schools, and he said everything I hired is it's trickling down to high school now. So you're seeing a lot of this, some high school kids getting paid here and all this other stuff. So they're getting it earlier than.
Think about what that does to authority. As a professor, as a basketball coach, what's my authority? You've taken my authority away when you're paying a kid way more than I make. What am I going to tell you?
And I've heard some stories.
Do you understand what I'm saying? It's just so many things around that, so many parameters that, to me, it's just like anything new. Eventually, they'll get worked out. We're up in arms about them now, but as time goes on, they'll get worked out. Just like the NBA and the ABA when it started. Time went on, things kind of worked themselves out and went into place. And I feel like the NIL stuff's going to be the same way. So they just need time to do it.
Coach, I got a couple more questions for you. Jamin, what you got left up or after what you?
For me, I just want to hear more about your coaching experience in the WNBA, just things that you experienced that might have changed how you coach, what you learned, and just like players, how you seen them develop.
The biggest thing that I learned in the WNBA is it don't really have anything to do with coaching. It has to do with the relationships that you build. Lots of head coaches, their assistant coaches build relationships with the players, and they go through assistant coaches to the head coach. That's usually the pecking order. I think great head coaches build their own relationships. Those players are playing for you. They're running through walls for you. They're running extra for you. Your assistant coach can't promise them anything. You have to have a relationship. They have to feel like you care about them, like you will go to war for them. And that's probably the biggest thing that I learned. I literally got hired in the NBA mostly for my damage control. I built relationships with what the league considered problematic players and had them on MVP runs because they control their behaviors a lot more. But I can't do that if I can't build that relationship. And you have to go to a person's level to be able to build those kind of relationships. So I'd say that's probably the greatest thing that the WNBA has taught me, is that the way you build relationships is directly correlated to how your success on the court.
Coach, this is my last question for you. What's the legacy you want to leave at Langston when it's all said and done?
My legacy would be one of inspiration, desire, and I'm saying this right here simply because I want to take my team to do things like speak to prisoners at Mabel Bassett. I want to bring my kids up here to the Boys and Girls Club here at is it off 23rd? But no, you know what I'm talking about. I want to impact, and not only do I want to impact, I want to teach the people that I lead to become impactors, to become doers, to become people who leave a mark, to become people who, if I can help you be the best you can be, then I'm going to go out of my way to help you do it. That's the legacy that I don't leave in my players. And I think you have this leadership tree. I'm a part of Teresa Weatherspoon's leadership tree. So it's important to me that I'm leaving things to trickle down and people become parts of my leadership tree. So that's probably the legacy that I would like to leave. I don't want to just be a coach that comes here and wins a championship. I want to impact our community. I want our girls to understand how important it is to impact our communities and to show up and show the younger kids it's cool to be a doctor. It's cool to be lawyers. It's cool to be physical therapists. That's the impact that I want to bring.
Well, Coach, I'm gonna look forward to it because that's gonna be a beautiful tree when it's all said and done with your team, and I think Langston's gonna love that.
Yeah,
So
and it'll be great for Langston. That's one of the reasons why I took this job. I think it's an awesome place to be. People just got to know about it.
yes, and they're gonna know about it after the season. Well, Coach Chris Robinson, Coach, I want to thank you for coming on Superb Radio.
You're welcome.
And looking forward to the season. You're gonna see a lot of us at the games and keep building our relationship over time. But thank you for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you guys for having me. Anytime you need me on here for something, holler at me. Okay?
Well,
got you.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate that. Right. You guys will be right back. We're gonna go to break. Maddi Stewart, Nebraska guard, former Lincoln Christian standout, will be on next. Thank you. City, welcome back to Super Live. I'm Miles Perry. I'm here with Jamin Dawson. We're at the Super Command Center. We just got done talking to Langston women's basketball coach, Crystal Robinson, and former WNBA legend as well. We're about to have Maddi Stewart come on, talk to us here in a second. But Jamin, what you think about Coach Robinson, real quick, before I bring Maddi on? I saw Maddi, but one sec.
It's just a pleasure to meet a Hall of Famer and just be in the presence of somebody with such a rich basketball resume. Honestly, I think the one thing that stood out in the interview was kind of her coaching philosophy and how she talked about being progress driven and not worrying about the problem, building relationships with players. Because I think that's important for coaching at any level. Any player can agree if a coach builds a relationship with them and they have something more than just you calling the plays, not go execute. It's no telling how far they can go and what that'll mean to them in their career.
And I agree with everything you said, Jamin. What I think didn't surprise me, because I've got to talk to Coach off air before, is hanging out talking. She's well spoken and educated. You know, this her mind and how she thinks. She thinks outside the box, clearly, right? And I think that's exciting for Langston's basketball and athletic program for the state of Oklahoma. So much history. And then for those that know, her nephew's Jackson Robinson, who played at Ada and went on to play college basketball at BYU in Kentucky and also at Texas A&M. Now he's in the G League on the Cleveland Cavaliers G League team. But, you know, a lot of Oklahoma ties. She's from Atoka, Oklahoma. Looking forward to what she does at Langston. But now, further ado, Maddi Stewart, Nebraska guard, former Lincoln Christian, standout. Maddi, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thank you for coming on. How's Nebraska? How's Lincoln?
Oh, it's awesome. They aren't lying when they say it's a good life up here.
Well, I've never been to Lincoln. I hear Nebraska. I've been in Nebraska. There's a lot of cornfields. I mean, is what I hear also too. Is that true? In Lincoln, I've been in Omaha. I haven't been to Lincoln though.
Yeah, there's a lot of corn up here.
But how's the adjustment been? Let's talk about basketball now. How's the adjustment trends from being at Lincoln Christian? Now you're playing in Big Ten basketball in Nebraska.
Yeah, the adjustment has been a lot so far, but it's been a good adjustment. Obviously, being away from home, it's a little bit sad not playing for my mom anymore, but, I kind of catch a glimpse of that every now and then playing for Coach Williams. She's an awesome coach, and we got a really good team, so it's been actually pretty easy for me to adjust and get into the groove of things.
And Maddi, you talked about playing for your mom and how you miss it, but just talk about how that experience was in high school and how she's prepared you for this moment you're about to embark on.
Yeah, she's prepared me a lot. We've been through hell and back trying to just find that balance between coach and mom, but it was honestly one of the best experiences of my life. I say it all the time, but I want everybody to experience playing for their parents. Like, it was honestly one of the things that shaped me from a young age, and it really has kind of gotten me to the place that I am now, and I think that I'm a lot better for it. So I'm really grateful just for that opportunity, and for my mom too. She's awesome. So
you made history with your mom. You guys won back-to-back state championships, 4A state championships together. How was that at Lincoln Christian?
Man, it was surreal. Yeah, that opportunity and just those two teams that I was on, it was like nothing else I've ever been a part of. Obviously, making history is great, but when you get to do it with your mom, it just sweetens the deal. It's like 10 times better.
And you hold the school record for points, highly touted recruit. Is that something that you were always confident that you would be?
Honestly, it was never about the records. I mean, I have always had aspirations to play college basketball, and so I think my mind was more set on that. And, the records were just kind of a benefactor of kind of the hard work put towards that goal. But yeah, like I said, just a blessing, just to be in that position anyways. And, I hope that some of the youngins can come up behind me and can take that from me someday.
I'm gonna go back on Nebraska basketball. What made you ultimately choose them? You had offers from everywhere: OU, OSU. I remember when you go on your official visits, seeing those on Instagram. But what made you choose the Cornhuskers?
Man, the culture up here is just unlike anything I've ever seen. I think that Coach Williams does a really good job with all of her teams. I definitely like the fact that she's not afraid to play freshmen, especially if they've earned it. I feel like I'm a pretty hard worker, and just to know that I have a fair shot at getting on the court this year, that makes me really excited. But also the fan base, like you mentioned, the Cornhuskers, they're unlike anything you've ever seen. They can be pretty crazy, but I like that. So I'm excited to get into that this season.
And what else stood out to you about Coach Williams in the recruiting process and just being there now going through practice?
Yeah, my recruiting process with Coach Williams, it was honestly amazing. She would call to check up on me all the time. And I think one of the biggest things for me personally was that it wasn't always about basketball. Sometimes we would have calls where we didn't mention a thing about being on the court. You know, she'd ask me how my family is, what my brothers are up to, just things about me personally. So that kind of helped me understand that she cares more about myself than just what I can give on the court. And so, yeah, that was just an awesome experience too, going through that.
What's been the biggest adjustment when you've been in practice from playing high school, and you played at elite level at AAU as well? Playing from, is it the speed of the game? Is it the physicality? What's been the biggest adjustment for you so far?
College is it's a different level. Everybody's coming every day to compete, and not that our high school team wasn't competitive, because it was. We had some pretty chippy days there too, but just kind of the professionalism, I would say, is very different. When you come into college, everybody's there for the same goal, but they're not afraid to go out you and practice a little bit, to get there. And so it's just that balance of like learning that, okay, it's okay for me to go at my teammates a little bit when we're between the lines, but also when we step out of the lines, like we're still really good friends, and we're still hitting up the cafeteria afterwards and hanging out. So that's been a pretty big adjustment for me, but it's been good.
Did you have like a whoa moment, and when you were in practice, like, oh, they're going at me hard in practice too, or did you just see it when you first got out there? I just had to ask that because it kind of sounded like you had experience there with that in practice. Or if not, I just had to ask that.
Yeah, actually with Coach Williams' daughter, Kennedy Williams, she's on our team, and yeah, us coaches' kids, we know how to compete, that's for sure. I remember we were doing some just competition. It was my team versus her team. We were guarding each other back and forth. The points are going either which way, and yeah, we were just physical the whole time. And I was like, all right, okay, this is how it's gonna be. But it was good for me to realize that, like, there's other people out there who like to compete as much as I do. So.
Have you seen your game kind of change and develop already? I know you haven't been there long. It's been a short time, but what are some things you maybe have added to your game so far?
Yeah, my game has changed a lot since coming to Nebraska. I would say that the thing that's probably changed the most is just the way they play defense. They have a little bit different system and a little bit different rules to how they run their defense here. And it's forced me to get really good at guarding on the ball and off of screens. Be guarding a lot of really highly recruited guards in the Big Ten, and it's just a different level of play. So, it requires you to step up a little bit, but I'm ready for the challenge.
What's a team you're looking forward to playing this year in the Big Ten?
Oh, man, I am looking forward to Iowa. I've heard that game always gets very crazy. I do think that they have better corn in Nebraska. So if any Iowa fans are watching, I'll stand on it.
That is going to be a good game. Do you guys play Creighton this year? I know that's a in-state rivalry too. Big East versus Big Ten, or.
I don't have the schedule memorized yet, but if we play Creighton, that'll be a real good game to come out to as well. So. No,
that will be a good game. But I still think it's funny, Jay, man. She's talking about. I forget Iowa has corn too. I forgot.
Yeah.
I still never been. I'm sure Maurice could tell us.
Oh yeah, Maurice.
More about it.
The voice of the Millwall Falcons. Maurice is a big Iowa fan, and so so Maddie and him might have some beef here and there when it comes to basketball
Oh
time.
gosh.
No, I'm playing, but no, yeah, but she just reminded me of that. I forgot about that's a big corn rivalry there. And the Iowa-Nebraska football game is pretty big too. So I mean, that'd be a good thing to watch. But Maddie, I want to get to some personal goals. I know a personal goal is you want to play this year. Clearly, you you didn't say it, but you said it earlier. You know, you went to Nebraska because Coach Williams, believes in freshmen. But what's a personal goal you have for this year on the court then? If you're looking to play.
Yeah, I think a personal goal for me is obviously, like I said, Amy wants to play as freshman, but I want to see how I can expand my scoring game from all three levels. I feel like I touched on mid-range a little bit in high school, but not as much as I could have. And I think that's one thing that the coaches here have really helped me to understand, that I do have that element to my game, and it maybe just hasn't been fully tapped into yet. So been working a lot on that in practice, and I think that, once I get to showcase that in a game, you might see a little bit different Maddie than you did in high school. Fingers crossed, of course.
Are there any older players on the team that you've drawn a liking to, or kind of took you under their wing and just kind of teaches you some things about being at the next level?
Man, I mean, we're all I feel like I've learned so much from everyone. I would say Logan Nisley. She has done a really good job of just kind of mentoring me through what freshman year can be like, and just some of the kind of struggles that you can go through mentally. And she's helped me to kind of get past those, because she's just awesome. She knows the game so well, and she's been a part of the program now this will be her senior year. And so she obviously knows what coach likes too. So it's been really helpful just having her kind of take me under her wing.
What do you think this team can do this year in Nebraska when it comes to the Big Ten and the NCAA tournament? And what's some of the team goals?
Yeah, we say it almost every day. There's no other option. We are a tournament team. We know that we've got the skill. We know that we're really competitive. We'll fight like no other to get there. This year the goal is just go far. We want to be far in March, and we want to play, and we want to just put on a good show for the fans, but also just compete to the best of our abilities. I would say this year we have a very good team on the guard side and the post side. And so I think that getting to use both of those positions and kind of bring them together, you might see a little bit different team this year than maybe past years. But I'm excited. I feel like we have a really good team this year, and a lot of really good girls. So.
Okay, I gotta ask, what do you find the most fun executing on the court? Like knocking down a big shot, or creating an opportunity for a teammate, or just getting like a big stop on defense?
Yeah, I mean, obviously everyone wants to hit the shot, but this team has a lot of scorers, and when we're in practice, sometimes there's nothing better than just making a game-ending dime. Whenever we're getting done and we're wrapping up, we're going against the scout guys, and we just get to kind of shove it in their face that we beat them. So I'd say either scoring or to end the game, or making that assist. It feels pretty good.
How did the scout guys take that? Are their feelings hurt, or are they used to it by now?
Oh, they bring it right back at us. It's very competitive. There's a lot of trash talk. They claim that they're just helping us get ready for the league, but I'm not real sure yet. They might just enjoy it. So.
Well, it sounds like they want a shout out when you guys get drafted on draft night, if they're getting you ready for the league, is what that sounds like. But speaking of WNBA,
probably.
But speaking of the WNBA, Maddie, who'd you grow up watching and analyze your game after?
Man, Paige Beckers. I remember watching her old high school clips, and I was like, dude, this girl, she's like unstoppable. Just scoring at will, Obviously a menace on defense, but I think just watching her progression from high school all the way up till now, like I've never seen her once plateau. Like she's always gotten better. She's found ways to get better. And I feel like for me, I've kind of tried to emulate that, and that I can always learn more and I can always get better. There is no ceiling to stop at, you know? And so, yeah, I'd say Paige Beckers.
All right, we touched on playing in the Big Ten and how competitive that is, but what excites you the most about playing at such a high college level?
Man, playing in front of that first crowd in PBA is going to be different. I mean, everybody says it, and I've been in the game, I've been in the crowds, but I haven't ever been on the floor. So I think the first time I run out, that might be the biggest moment I'm looking forward to.
Maddie, you probably realize it, or you probably don't, but you inspire a lot of girls in Oklahoma playing basketball, you know, playing at Division I level and going to college now. So what would be the message to the girls back home that inspire or aspire to play Division I basketball, and that they can accomplish that?
Yeah, just put your head down and keep working. You know, if you have a goal, just keep striving towards it every day. If you know how to work hard and you know how to just kind of keep going, and you know how to find that motivation even on the days that you don't want to do it, because there will be a lot of days that you don't want to do it, that's what's going to set you apart from everyone else. And so just never let anybody tell you can't do it, because shoot, I'm 5'9", I'm playing on one of the biggest stages, and I had a lot of people growing up tell me that I didn't exactly pass the eye test, but I think my competitive nature just kind of told me that I could do it anyways. So, yeah.
So what impression do you want to leave on people's minds when they watch you play? Like, what do you want them to say about your game?
Yeah, I mean, I just want people to see that I'm just a competitor. I want them to love watching the game because of me. I don't want to, I don't want to turn the game in. I want to keep it simple, the way that it's supposed to be. And I think that by doing that, a lot of people will end up liking me. So, but obviously, at the end of the day, people are going to say whatever they're going to say. I'm just doing this for my Lord and Savior. He's the one who blessed me with the ability in the first place. So
I got to ask this, kind of going back to high school accolades. How did it feel winning Max Prep's Player of the Year this past year for the state of Oklahoma?
Man, it felt awesome. There's a lot of really, really good girls, really good competitors, and just basketball players in the state of Oklahoma this past year. And, to go up against them and come out as the Player of the Year, that was such an honor. I think that, it was honestly, it was just a blessing that they even considered me. So I'm really thankful for that.
And there's been a lot of talent coming out of Oklahoma in all sports, but especially basketball, men's and women's. What does that feel like for you, just to add to that legacy, and even coming from your high school to be one of those star players that kids can look up and strive to be like?
Yeah, it's awesome. Oklahoma, they're kind of getting put on the map right now by some of the athletes that are coming out of the state. Obviously, I just want to do my best to compete for everybody back home, everybody who's helped me get here. And so, yeah, just to be able to do that, it's been amazing, truly.
I gotta ask this for people that aren't familiar with Link Christians in Tulsa. I gotta ask this. I got a Tulsa on here. So, which side of the state is better? Who produces the best hoopers? Is it Oklahoma City or is it Tulsa? That's an ongoing topic. But I had to ask one of the best hoopers to come through Tulsa.
You're trying to get me in trouble here.
I'm not gonna get you in trouble.
Tell.
I expect you to say T-Town. Come on now. I mean, but I had to ask though.
Yeah, selfishly, yes, but the truth is that I think that we've had honestly some really good games, especially in the all-state matchups we've had. Just putting on for the Oklahomans out there, it's really good to be a part of that. I think that it's been a blessing to just be one of those athletes that's come out of this, and I really respect everybody else who's putting in the same work too. And so, yeah.
Did you grow up playing any other sports, or has it always just been basketball?
Yes, I actually played softball and I ran track in high school as well.
Try sport athlete. I didn't know that. I didn't know you ran track. I knew you ran track. I didn't know you played softball. So
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. Kind of a family affair. My aunt was my softball coach, so could never get away from it at the dinner table.
Well, Nebraska softball is pretty good too. Are you going to try to get out
They
there
might,
and watch some
they
games?
might ask her to come play.
Man, I mean, if the coach is watching this, you could get my number from someone. I mean, I would come out and try, I guess.
Well, Matt, this is gonna be my last question for you. Who's your motivation and why? What motivates you to be great, not just in basketball but in life?
Man, my parents, they motivate me in everything. Obviously when you're younger, you don't really realize it until you kind of get older and you see, you're like, man, they really sacrificed a lot for me to be here. And they're the hardest working people I know. And so not only that, but they do it all with grace and just humility. So I strive to be like that every day. And yeah, they're the ones who kind of taught me that basketball is really important to us, but it's not everything. And so, yeah, they are the ones who inspire me the most.
Well, Maddie, we're gonna thank you for coming on Super Radio. It's great to finally get to talk to you. I've been covering you for years now, but the fact that we get to talk to you finally is a blessing. And we look forward to talking to you more in the future and watching your career. Good luck this season.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming on. Ladies and gentlemen of Oklahoma City and Tulsa, because I know we have a Tulsa fan base as well. We're statewide. That was Maddi Stewart, University of Nebraska guard, freshman guard. Lincoln Christian stand out these past 4 years. Jamin, I enjoyed talking to Maddi.
I did too. I'm going to definitely be watching some Nebraska women's basketball whenever they get the ball rolling on the court, man. So, yeah, I think she's got a great opportunity to be where she is. She seems like a hard worker too, so we could probably see her on the court this fall.
Yeah, I think from how she sounds pretty confident she's going to play. I think you kind of got that vibe. But I think she's a prime example for athletes out there that's listening and watching or will watch this later on social media. Go where you can play. That's what she did. And she could have went anywhere. She was the number one player in the state of Oklahoma on ESPN and 247 Sports. And had offers from everywhere. She went to Nebraska where she could play. She said the coach said I could play as a freshman, so she went to Nebraska.
Right. And you got to value those relationships too. Like she said, that's one of the most important things. Some people get those offers and they're like, it's their dream school. So they're like, I have to go to my dream school. But you got to assess everything and really figure out what's going to be the best fit for you and your future. So in her case, a good personal coach and a great chance to get on the court. Good vets on the team that play hard and challenge her as well. So that sounds like a great fit to me.
It sounds like a great fit to me too, and I'm excited. Now I really am going to be watching Big Ten basketball. So we got someone out there in the Big Ten. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm Miles Perry, Jamin Dawson. Corey Gordon will be on shortly. We're going to go to break. Me and Jamin are going to break down a little bit more of the Chev Smith move to Norman North and talk about that, what that looks like for 6A basketball and Oklahoma high school basketball in general. But we're going to go to break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Super Prep Radio, Oklahoma City. I'm Miles Perry. I'm here with Jamin Dawson at the Super Prep Command Center. Big news happened about an hour and 15 minutes, 13 minutes ago, 7:13 right now. Chevis Smith, Dell City boys head basketball coaches, took the job at Norman North. Jamin, what do you think about that?
I mean, I believe that's jumping up a class from Dell City to Norman North, correct?
He's going to 6A, yeah.
Making a jump there, so that'll be something to prove for him. We know about all the talent that's across 6A, but he plays some good talent in 5A as well. So unique opportunity to play with another group of highly talented kids and make something happen out there in the green.
You know, and I think it shakes up 6A. like I said, I said earlier, I think they'll make the playoffs and make a deep run. And I don't know if Norman North's done that since Trae Young.
I don't think so either.
And so I think they're happy about that. And his boys are leaving and going with him. Andrew Crawford, class 2029, he'll be a sophomore. He posted he's transferring last night to Norman North. So I think it was kind of already out there that, Chev was going to Norman North and leaving Dale City. And it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think they're going to have a good team, and I think they're going to be good. Like I said earlier, that Norman North crosstown Norman High rivalry is going to be back in basketball. It's been in football forever, but basketball will be back on the hardwood. But Chev has a lot to work with out there in Norman North. Owen Wynn, big 2028 guard, forward. He's 6'8", 6'7". He's good. He was at the Super Prep Showcase. Played for Team Oklahoma this summer on the Puma circuit, next pro circuit, and he's going to be good. So yeah, I'm excited for Chev. I'm happy for him. And I think it's crazy. Both of his head coaching stops before Norman North. He made the state tournament with both teams in back-to-back years. What first year was Lon making the state championship game, losing Booker T. But in his first year, he made it to the state championship game in 5A. But no, it's been a crazy summer. Jamin coming to coaching changes and transfers. I talked to Myron Patton last night on his show on OKC Sports Radio 105.3, and he was talking about mentality. What kind of Coach Robinson was talking about for Langston women's basketball. She was talking about these kids aren't, getting taught certain things at an early age, so it hurts them in the long run. So it's just interesting how all this is affecting high school. What do you think? How do you feel about it? I know we talk about this a lot. I know probably people are tired of hearing us talk about it, but is it so relevant and it's forever going?
Yeah, mentality is really everything. Of course, it starts with the leadership, but the only ones that are playing are the players, the kids. So mentality is the biggest thing going into anything, being focused on being fundamentally sound, being a good teammate, and just being a good player on and off the court. Yeah, I think mentality is everything. I think the moving does create some parity like we talked about, but I think most of them are pretty warranted. They changed the rule for the free transfer, so you would be wrong to not exercise it unless you're truly happy where you are. But with coaching changes, that's a mental challenge for the players that are left to figure out, am I going to follow coach? Am I going to stay? Or am I going to blaze a new path somewhere else? So I commend players like the one you just mentioned at Norman North that's going to stay and want to play for Chevis, because that's a challenge in itself. You have to adjust to a new coach, a new system, and playing with new players that are coming with them. Because when coaches leave, it's kind of like Coach Prime said, I got baggage and it's Louis. So they're looking to go out there and see how they can mix it.
No, I forgot Coach Prime said. No, and it'll be good to see what it brings out. And like I said yesterday on Myron's show, Harriet Shaw lost their star point guard, Xavier Embro. He transferred to Putnam City North.
Wow.
Yeah. And so did T.J. Williams from Mount St. Mary, big 6'7" kid. He transferred to PC North from Mount St. Mary. So PC North reloaded, right?
It really did. One of the best regular season teams in 6A high school basketball.
No, yeah, and I think they're my favorite right now to win it up in 6A. Right now. Way too early prediction. Right. But I don't know. I think it's going to be fun to watch basketball. I know it's football season. And it's just going to be interesting because football, Mustang is going to be good. They reloaded on the offensive line. I think they're better last year on the O-line than they were the year before. Bigsby's Bigsby. We talked to Isaiah Butcher a few weeks ago, and he's their Cam Newton, like we claimed him to be. And you talk about he can put the ball anywhere he needs. He likes to test where he can put the ball. It's just going to be interesting what 6A does. Because in football, 6A won specifically. Because I think Mustang has a real deal team. We talked to our guy, Bryson Brown, last week. He thinks they're the real deal in Broken Arrow. So I don't know. Bigsby's the favorite, but I don't know. And then Broken Arrow kind of reloaded. And he kind of mentioned that. He didn't say completely they got a bunch of people in, but hinted at it. So this high school football season is going to be very interesting, especially in 3A too, Javen, with Jones coming up.
I think to your point with 6A, of course, after talking to Bryson last week, but really just taking a look at their team, they might be my favorite to take it.
Okay. And I like that because it's different from the public opinion. Bigsby. And I'm not hating on Bigsby. That's just the public opinion, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if Broken Arrow could pull it off. I wouldn't be surprised if Mustang could pull it off. When's the last time a team from down this part of the state, down here down south, has won something?
Yeah, winning a state championship in football on our side of the state, I don't think that's happened.
I've
really
been alive for it.
I don't think it's happened in our lifetime,
No,
honestly. It'd probably be before us. So it's been 20-something odd years. I want to say 6A won for somebody on this west side of the state to take it.
Yeah, and I think they could. Mustang and then talking to Nash, Norman North could be a surprise. Like, there's so many teams you don't know what their full potential is because they got Norman North has a lot of key players in football too. So it's like, they got Kohler at tight end, and then they got a bunch of other players. They lost McMorris and Mason James to college, but they're still going to be good. But I don't know. Football is just so complex. Like it's just so many teams. And then we'll make some people mad in Tulsa. We're not talking about Wausau and Union, and Jenks. They're probably going to be in the mix too. So yeah, 6A
Most certainly, they'll definitely be in the mix.
Yeah, then Stillwater in 6A's too. Best receiver David Thomas transferred to school in Tennessee. Apparently, his dad got a coaching job on the Tennessee staff, so I guess where he's probably gonna go to Tennessee. He has offers from Ole Miss, OU, Tennessee, of course, but he's probably gonna go to Tennessee.
It's gonna be hard to get out of Tennessee, man. Real hard.
Because he transferred. I forgot the exact name. A Catholic school in Tennessee. It's in Knoxville. So that says a lot too. So he might be going. He might be a volunteer. That's all
I mean, it's almost easy to recruit. Proximity. You would be doing a disservice if you didn't recruit him a adequate amount and let other SEC teams come and sweep him away.
Yeah, and I felt. I mean, he might want to come back home and go to OU or OSU, right? But you're in Knoxville and your dad's on the staff. So
yeah, great opportunity to play on a team where your dad is on staff too, because you don't see that all the time. We see it in high school, but not college very much, especially to that level. That's one of the premier programs.
No, you're right. And Magda's talked about her teammate is the daughter of the head coach in Nebraska. That caught me off guard. I didn't know. I knew Coach Williams was. I didn't know she had a daughter on the team when she said that. I don't think you did either.
I didn't either.
Yeah, because she was like, "Yeah, we're going to have practice with Coach Williams." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's a interesting story." No, yeah, but you don't see too many. Buddy Boeheim and Coach Boeheim at Syracuse, but you don't see too many coaches with their kids coaching in college, or that they play a lot. So
Right, because even Coach Hurley at UConn, his son's on the team. He didn't play very much, but when he got in the game, got a bucket.
Same with Coach Moser at OU. His son was on the team. Is he still on the team? Jake's on the team or no?
I think his last year might have been this previous season, so I think he's gone now.
Okay. Yeah, he was on the team for a couple years. But like we said, we don't see them. You don't see them. Coach Kyle Perry, someone's on Kentucky. But no, it's a lot of stuff going on. Like I said earlier, Lehman's Gym, and for those that don't know, Chevy Smith, Dale City Boys head basketball coach, took the job at Norman North. A lot of stuff's been changed in some of the coaches and everything. Coach Xavier Henry going to Millwood. Coach Jordan Williams going to Carl Albert. Josh Davis getting head coaching job at El Reno. So there's a lot of head coaching changes, even in football too. But we'll be right back. We're going to go to break real quick, and we'll be back talking more about what's going on in college sports and college football. Talk more about some OU and OC football here in a second, and then we'll talk to Corey Gordon, Putnam City West former standout, and the defensive back at the University of Kansas. And we'll be right back. Oklahoma City. Welcome back to Super Prep Radio. I'm Miles Perry. I'm here with Jamin Dawson. It's been a great show. Corey Gordon is up next. Former PC West standout, Oklahoma City legend, University of Kansas safety. He's coming on to talk about his experience playing college football and his new chapter at Kansas. But Jamin, let's talk about some college football. The SEC media rankings came out. Was it last week? Or was it earlier this week?
I think earlier this week.
And Texas was 1, right? Georgia 2. Ole Miss was 3. If I remember this off the top of my head, it's crazy. I think 4 was 4 A&M? Or were they 5? I just know Bama was 6 and we were 7. I mean, not we. OU was 7. Excuse me. Yeah, the OU. And the reason why I'm pausing and thinking and pondering, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm still confused on why OU is 7. Not because I'll go to OU, or because Jamin goes to OU or is on their broadcast, but this is more like on the number 1 defense in the SEC.
I think they're knocking us because the offense, honestly, and that's just because we didn't reach our potential last year.
And we did lose a handful of transfers, is what I've heard from other people. I know me and Myron Patton talked about it yesterday. He said, OU lost a lot of transfers, and then he made some valid points saying Texas Archman and the quarterback, Chambliss coming back for Ole Miss quarterback, and then he said Georgia's this Kirby Smart, the consistency of them. Mm-hmm. But A&M though was so high up.
I mean, their NIL is endless, so they could get almost anybody they want.
Majority of the teams in the SEC's NIL is endless.
Very true. I think the combination of Marcel Reed and the running back that's returning, his name is kind of leaving me right now, but their offense is going to be good. And their head coach, Mike Elko, they could get almost anybody they want.
Majority of the teams in the SEC's NIL is endless.
Very true. I think the combination of Marcel Reed and the running back that's returning, his name is kind of leaving me right now, but their offense is going to be good. And their head coach, Mike Elko, he's a defensive guy too. So yeah, when you pair that up and you have a good coordinator, sky's the limit.
I know they're looking for a redemption tour after that loss to Miami in the playoffs first round.
At home too.
Yeah.
Close game, and it came down to how they played in the trenches. Miami,
the D-line.
They take pride in that line.
Yeah. And
they were running behind, I think running back, his name's like Mark Fletcher.
Yeah, and then Tony was out there catching the ball.
Yeah, Tony was going crazy. He really put his name on the map.
He's a 3-star recruit.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy he was 3 stars because everything he was able to do. He played quarterback his senior year because their actual quarterback got hurt, and they still made it deep in that postseason run.
No, yeah, the SEC is going to be interesting. When it's all said and done, I got OU going 10-2 again.
I don't disagree, really. A lot of these games are winnable.
Maybe 10-1 or 11 or 12-1 or 11, whatever. 12-1. If we lose, realistically, I think it's OU Texas. Just because it's that game. I got us beating Georgia.
I think some of the away games are a little difficult. I mean, Florida, the atmosphere, of course, but they're entering a new regime with Coach Summerall coming from Tulane. South Carolina's going to be tough because we're playing – well, they got some OU guys, actually.
We play South Carolina?
Yeah, I think we play South Carolina in South Carolina, I believe. Because Coach Beamer, he coached at OU.
Didn't we play there last year?
Did we? Or do they come home? Yeah, they come and play us in Norman.
They come here.
They play us in Norman.
I know we play Ole Miss at home again.
We play Georgia.
Georgia's.
Yeah, we got to go to Georgia.
I know, yeah.
Or OU has to go to play at Georgia.
I think I'm going to go to that game.
That would be nice. That's one of the better away games to go to.
Yeah, because Athens. I hear Athens is a cool town.
Well, Oklahoma, Nebraska was definitely one of those good rivalries in the past.
I think Mateer, we go as far as Mateer goes.
That's true. And the run game, too, because that's been one of the things that's been super difficult to find success in and now we got a new running back coach, DeMarco Murray. He's moved on to the NFL. But we got good returners. Blaylock's coming back. Xavier Robinson, Carl Albert, graduate. I think both of them are going to be good. That's a good tandem. And then our freshman, Jonathan Haddon, he's been good too. Big body.
I've read a lot about him. He's getting a lot of reps, is what I keep hearing.
He is.
Yeah.
He's going to be good. We're going to see him, no doubt about it. So seeing a running back by committee, 3 guys that can go do it, that's special in its own, because a lot of teams really only had that one guy, a decent backup. But for us to have 3 guys that can go out there and go get a home run, that would be crazy.
You take me back to Lincoln Riley days. He had maybe 4 sometimes you could throw out there at running back. No, it's going to be interesting to see what OU does. I'm not worried about the defense.
Nah.
It's year 4 or 5 now. Brent Venables' defense is very established. No, but the media poll rankings that really shocked me when I saw that.
Now, of course, they put LSU up there because Lane Kiffin, and they have a lot of transfers themselves. Caden Durham being one of the only returners, Oklahoma City native.
Yeah.
But everybody else is kind of transferring in. Sam Levitt at quarterback. I think DJ Pickett, that tall corner, he's coming back, but he's only a sophomore. So
he is, and he's nice,
really nice.
And he's good. And I was hoping you might try to go get Caden when he entered the portal. So
I was hoping so too, but he seemed dead set on LSU because he didn't waver in his high school recruitment. He could have went almost anywhere he wanted to. But Brian Kelly was there, and it seemed like a good fit, so he went. But it's good that he's in a better situation now with Lane Kiffin. So I think he's going to get the most out of him.
Fun fact, he would have came to OU if Tatum never came.
But Tatum, another highly touted recruit.
He just left the Michigan football team. I saw today.
Yeah, because it was no guarantee he was going to play running back. They were trying to try him at defense. So
rumor has it he wants to play baseball for college.
But he's an outstanding baseball player, too.
Because I know he was on both right at OU. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting football season in college. Who do you think is the better conference, Big Ten or SEC?
Recency bias is very tough to say. Of course, the Big Ten is talented, and then you get the teams from the Pac-12 to come. So you add Oregon, USC, and UCLA to that pedigree, even Washington. So it's a great conference, but I still think the SEC is just the stronger one. Of course, they play different styles. They like to run the ball, big offensive linemen. But you look at the SEC, some of these defenses and the guys that they're putting in the league versus guys in the Big Ten. Of course, Ohio State, Michigan you look at, but all across the board in the SEC, they're putting guys in the league.
You know, and it's like, how I look at the SEC is NFL on Saturdays.
Because that's what it feels like. Of course, it's like the energy. When you go to a game, all the regular season games in the SEC are like an event. You can't really just look at the schedule and think any of them are easy wins. Like we're talking about, we predict OU to be 10-2. And that's very solid, but a lot of those games are not going to be easy to win.
No, they're going to
come down to the
17 to 14 point games, a lot of low scoring games for OU, and no, it's gonna be interesting. I would say when I went to Bryant Denny Stadium last year to watch OU Bama, one of the biggest football stadiums I've been in, but it was nowhere nearly as loud as the Palace on the Prairie in Norman, which surprised me. Surprised me a lot, actually. It was like, but also I think the Gaylord Memorial Stadium is more compact. If you just look at Bryant Denny Stadium, it's more spread out.
Yeah, that's a good factor to mention, but even like the magnitude of what the game is, if this was like a Nick Saban era game, I feel like it would be a little different. Kalen DeBoer, some of the fans still aren't convinced that he's the guy to be at Bama. It was something he said during SEC Media Days about what success looks like for them, and not mentioning championships when you're talking about Alabama football just doesn't make a lot of sense. And when you're talking to your fans and you're not talking about winning championships and things you expect from your team, it could turn on you quick.
And it's funny to piggyback off what you're saying. It was funny when we were in Tuscaloosa, and it's funny for people listening here in Oklahoma City and Oklahoma. They call Tuscaloosa T-Town, like how we call Tulsa T-Town. And when I was in T-Town in Alabama, and walk around with what's their campus corner, and hanging out with some friends from Oklahoma City that go to Alabama, and all the OU people down there, a lot of the Bama fans thought they were gonna lose that game. Like it was one of the weirdest things I've experienced. We were out on Thursday night hanging out and meeting some Alabama people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, y'all might beat us on Saturday." No, we Alabama. You guys are saying we're gonna come here and take over your trap.
Yeah, it's still Bama, but you got to think about the games that we've seen OU play Alabama and the success we've had. I think since the Sugar Bowl in 2013, 2014.
Trevor Knight game.
They only beat us twice, and we beat them, I want to say 4. It could be 3. So recency, we're still doing good.
Nick Saban doesn't have a winning record against OU.
No, he doesn't.
Or Texas.
Which is kind of wild to think about, too, because when he was playing, Texas is just now back on the rise. He played Texas in that national championship, I think 2009, his first at Bama. But since then, there was a massive drop-off towards the middle and latter part of his coach career at Alabama.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to everything you said from a CEO standpoint, because that's what a head coach is in college football, at any level of professional or sports, because that's what college is now. You got to establish that mentality, because when I think of Nick Saban, I think championships, like you said. Kalen DeBoer has made it to a national championship game and lost, which I was rooting for Washington against Michigan that year, but he didn't win it. But the reason why I was talking about being on the campus at Alabama, and you talking about the fan base, and they don't think he's the guy. And they didn't say he didn't think he was the guy. It was the whole demeanor of, oh yeah, y'all might beat us. Y'all might beat us.
That's crazy to hear that from an Alabama fan.
Now, if that was OU Texas, a Texas fan is never going to give you that. Never. As many times I've been to OU Texas fans are in your face talking and saying whatever. They're never going to, oh, you're going to beat us this year. Even when they're worst teams. Even though they're worst teams, they're like, we're going to.
Yeah, they got that pride, though. When you got a rivalry game like that, the intensity is there. Everything that they feel, and they know how important that is, from the Big 12 even to the SEC. A lot of how your season is going to go is based upon that game. It's like the first big game of the year, unless you start scheduling those home and homes like Texas does with Ohio State and like we have with Michigan. So if you don't schedule those, you really don't know what your team is built of until you play in that OU Texas.
And how do you think Texas is going to look this year? You got Arch coming back. They got Hollywood Smothers, who played at OU. Brent Venables' his first year. And then they got another former OU guy, Raleek Brown, who was at OU with Lincoln Riley. That's not my guy. But what do you think about, and that's the running back room. Then they get Cam Coleman from Auburn, who we all thought was probably had a chance to go on to OU with all the rumors. He was on campus one week back this past spring. But how do you think Texas is going to look? They get Muschamp back as the DC. Let's throw back.
Yeah, still a great coach. Like everybody you mentioned, everybody's a key addition. Hollywood Smothers had a great season last year. Cam Coleman, despite what people might say was a rocky season for Jackson Arnold, that quarterback, Cam Coleman still brought in, I think, over 1,200, 1,300 receiving yards over the season. I think about 8 touchdowns. So giving Arch Manning a deep threat like that, or just a guy that's a big receiver capable to do anything you need him to do, and I think the O-line will be better. Coach Sark is going to draw everything up to the best of his abilities. We've seen what he can do when he has elite talent. So I think they'll be good enough to compete for a SEC championship. No doubt about it.
Now, I will say this. I will ask you this, Jamin. Is this a make or break year for Sark if he doesn't get it done? If he doesn't get past the semifinals of the playoffs? Or just make the game? Is he on the hot seat?
I don't think it's make or break, but I think the seat gets warmer because there's a lot of question marks after this season. You don't have Arch anymore. You may have him, but depending on how good of a season he has, he's going to go to the league. Cam Coleman, I believe this would be his third year, so he's eligible to go to the draft. He could be in the league. Same for Hollywood Smothers. You got some returners on defense, a guy like Colin Simmons. He's from Texas, so he'll probably end up staying at Texas however it goes. But, the potential of those guys leaving and not getting to the playoff, teams are going to kind of poach at them, and they're going to put in their pitch. And if you pay a guy like Colin Simmons, he can go to another elite program and really make a difference.
So the seat gets warmer. I think he's on the hot seat. What is it, year 4 or 5 for him?
Yeah, he's around the Venables amount of tenure.
Was he a year before Venables? Yeah, he was a year before Venables. Mm-hmm. So he's 5, year 5. I say this. Brent making the playoffs last year gave him more life. I think if Sark doesn't get past the semifinals, I agree with you, the seat gets warmer. But Oklahoma City, we'll be right back. Corey Gordon is up next, and we'll talk about Kansas football and what is at stake for them. And, it's a big year for Corey. It's his senior year. It's his draft year. So we're going to see what he's talking about there. We'll be right back on Super Radio. We'll be back. Oklahoma City. Welcome back to Super Prep Radio. I'm Miles Perry. I'm here with Jamin Dawson. We're at the Super Prep Command Center. For my radio listeners, I love you guys very much. But the radio segment of the show is ending right now. If you want to continue listening and watching and hear the Corey Gordon interview here in just a moment, you can watch it at PPBC TV YouTube. And you can also download our app at PPBC TV in the Apple Store, Google Play Store. And keep that for future reference. You're probably going to need it. But like I said, we are ending on the radio. And I appreciate you guys for listening. Shout out to my producer in the studio holding down for us. But you want to continue listening and watching Super Radio, go to YouTube at PPBC TV. That is PPBC TV and Peace Out Radio. But Oklahoma City, I'm about to bring on one of the legends from Oklahoma City, dual sport athletes. He could hoop, he can run track, he plays football though. He chose football, but one of my good friends, Corey Gordon for the Kansas Jayhawks. How are you doing, Corey?
I'm doing good, bro. What's going on, my dog? I appreciate you for bringing me on. You know, we finally got some time to chop it up. You know, we've been waiting on this one right here, but I'm doing well.
No, it's been a minute. I had you back on when you were in high school. Now I finally got you on in college. I know you're busy. You just got out of a meeting for fall camp. How was that though? How's fall camp going?
Everything been going good, man. It's only right now it's only day 3, but I say I'm already forgetting what day it is, and you know you already in your little your camp schedule. But overall, it's been going good. We've been getting things together. We looking nice, so it's gonna be a long one, but it's my last one, so I'm trying to enjoy it.
And what's something you gonna miss from fall camp? I know fall camp is tiring and dreadful, but what's one thing you're gonna miss?
I honestly say really just the team aspect. Like, you know, you got guys, we here from 6 a.m. to about 9 o'clock at night, a lot of the times. So you know, we in here chopping it up, telling stories, really just being around my dogs for real. That's what I really say.
And has the adjustment been for you so far, being in Lawrence?
I've adjusted pretty well. It's not too far from home, so I've been home a lot more than like usual when I was in Louisville. So I've been adjusting to it real nice. My mom can come down whenever she want, stuff like that. You know.
How's the transition been from transferring from Louisville to Lawrence? I know it's 2 different lifestyles. Just Louisville's a city. Lawrence is a college town, but you were in Waco, so you know what a college town is like. But what's the transition been from that standpoint?
Yep, I was going to say that's the biggest thing. I feel like Baylor helped me out a lot, just already understanding what it was going to be like to be in a college town overall. But like you said, it was a big difference at first. But I really have come to grown to love Lawrence just because it's like a good family atmosphere. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows who you are. And they take care of the guys out here. So I definitely love Lawrence, even though I ain't been out here too long.
And I want the biggest topic right now in all sports when it comes to college and high school is, you know, kids transferring, you know, and but how's the transfer portal treated you? Because you know, I know you had a great year at Baylor, then you went to Louisville and had 2 great seasons. Now you're at Kansas. How's the transfer portal treated you though?
I've had a lot of good coaches hit me up while I was in the transfer portal. Honestly, it's so much stuff that goes into just college athletics and you know, whatever school you are at the time. There's so many things and so many reasons why somebody could be getting in the portal, to be honest. So I would say it's been a long process in general. The process of being in the portal is kind of like recruitment again, to be honest. but it's a lot faster. You only get it's like recruitment, and you're hearing from all these schools and everybody hitting you up, but you only got about two weeks to make your decision. So it's kind of like high school all over again, I would say, but just really rushed for real. But one thing I wanted to do with both the times I got in the portal was just not rush my decision and really make sure like the next place that I went to was a real good fit for me. That's the main thing that I was trying to do while I was in the portal. So like that's why both times I was kind of in for like a while, just trying to make sure I was making the right decision. But it was a lot. It was a lot for sure.
You talk about how you've changed as a player. Talk about your growth at Baylor, then going to Louisville, and now early on in Lawrence.
Honestly, I would say for me, it was always just being consistent as a player and off the field too as well. Like I just really been trying to clean up my life. Not saying that my life is anything like bad or nothing like that, but just be more consistent over the past 2 years and grow up to be a man. That's the biggest thing I would say. When it does come to college, like my freshman year, I was still making freshman mistakes. Like you said, still trying to be a man. That's the biggest thing I would say. A man. That's the biggest thing I would say. When it does come to college, like my freshman year, I was still making freshman mistakes. Like you said, still trying to be a freshman and things like that.
Mistake is totally different than how you would approach it next year, knowing you've already been there before. You know you're capable of doing everything you did in high school that you did at that level.
No, and I like what he said about transferring to Kansas. The family atmosphere of Lawrence. Lawrence is a family atmosphere. I like Lawrence. Lawrence is a cool place to be. And I think it was pretty cool of him talking about becoming a man, and stop doing, freshman things, I just enter college, some freedom. So I think that's cool. But I'm interested to see when we get Corey back on, I'm interested to ask him what they're going to look like this season, what some of the goals are. I mean, with the Big 12 landscape, Big 12's kind of, I don't know. What do you think about the Big 12 in football right now?
I think it's still competitive. It's really not debatable if it's a basketball or football conference. I think it's a basketball conference all the way. But they have great competition, especially with the additions they've had, like playing.
My bad. I don't know what just happened.
State.
Wait. I think Wi-Fi, technology, bro.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's just the Wi-Fi in this facility.
You good? No, but it was funny. I was just talking to Jamie, and I wanted to ask you, how you guys going to look this year? And what's your expectations for this season?
Honestly, man, bro, with my last senior season, I ain't even just saying this. I'm trying to go to the college football playoffs, trying to win the Big 12, trying to walk across that stage, know what that feel like to, see that confetti coming down. And honestly, I'll say we really got the talent to do it. With us, it's just about putting it together. We got a lot of talent, bro. And I ain't even just saying that, I've been in college a while, so I can, see. And this is one of the more talented teams I've been on. It's just honestly about us putting it together because there's so many new faces and new guys around each other.
And talk about the opportunity it is to maintain that level of play that Kansas has shown. They've had a couple successful seasons in the past, and they haven't really been known for football. But the talent that you guys have, you could really take it up a notch this season.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing in the Big 12 and these top conferences. You just got so much competition every week. It's like you said, it's honestly it's small things that'll make you either a Big 12 champion or 3-9. To be honest with you, bro. And that's just something I've seen within my years in college. Like it's honestly a lot of small different things to just add up. Even when you look at the championships teams, they've probably been through a lot of adversity and made it out of that adversity, and that's what makes them the team that they are overall. So really, it's a great opportunity every week in the Big 12. I would say we just got to capitalize and win some of these games because most of them are going to be competitive.
What are you excited for playing back? You're back in the Big 12. What are you looking forward to now? The Big 12 is different from when you were in the Big 12, but what are you looking for being back out here in the home region playing football?
Honestly, like you said, some of these matchups we get to play this year just a lot closer to home for me. Being in the ACC, it's probably a few games that we got to play like close to home where family and friends and stuff could come. But in the Big 12, like you said, every other week, at least family or friends somewhere can come, you know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of all in the same area, except for a few different schools, you know. So that's the biggest thing I say I'm excited about, just being able to play in front of my friends and family. We play at Oklahoma State this year at Oklahoma State, so you know we finna try to pack that thing out with KU jerseys. And we play, of course, my old school Baylor, so that'll be one I'm looking forward to. So yeah, definitely got some games circled on my calendar for sure.
So you played in the ACC, you played in the Big 12, but y'all have an SEC opponent on the schedule. I believe y'all play Mizzou. How is that opportunity looking for you?
Man, that's a big time game just because they got some big time players over there, and they got a good program. Of course, it's been known for football and has made some noise. So like you said, I feel like that'll just be a good stepping stone to where we trying to get to. Because like you said, in the past, maybe Kansas hasn't been known for as much as football. But honestly, I say that perception is really just trying to change that perception, bro. Because there's enough talent around here to really do that, So that's the biggest thing.
I'm gonna change the topic, but how's that new stadium looking?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, it's ridiculously nice, bro. Like I be walking in the stadium every day, even just walking around this facility I'm in right now. I be like, yo, like this is top tier. This is crazy. I'm pretty sure, like, I don't want to sound like I'm reaching when I say this, but we probably have a better facility than like I'll say like 90% of the NFL. I don't want to like reach and say that, but just as far as like like nice, like kept up with, and NFL facilities are definitely like next level for sure. But this thing is pretty crazy.
Gore, I'm gonna change the topic to development. What's one thing you wanted to get better on this offseason when it comes to playing?
I want to be more physical with using my hands. That's the biggest thing I say for me because I'm already a big physical safety in general. Like I like to hit, and I'm 205, but I would say just using my hands in general because last year I was, getting off blocks and things like that, but I feel like I could just be a lot better with my hands because I kind of just use my body a lot to, get off blocks or kind of little boy receivers and things like that. But at the next level, those guys are going to be trying to like block you for real. And it's some guys that we try to block you for real right now in college, but those guys are getting paid to come try to block you. Same with tight ends and things like that. So I'm going to really have to get better with using my hands every play and being consistent with it.
I like that you say that because I already think physicality is a strong part of your game now, but adding elite hand usage is just definitely going to take that to another level.
Yeah.
What's your,
My fault. My bad. No, you good. I was just going to say, that's what I want to do this offseason.
What's your favorite thing about playing in the secondary? I know you said you physical, you like being physical, but what's your favorite thing about playing back there?
I honestly say guarding. Just cause, bro, like it's just like in basketball or when you strap somebody down, bro, and you could tell them about it. Like I ain't gonna lie, that's the best feeling in the world for real. But I say coverage. Like I like guarding. And being on the island with somebody, 1-on-1, you versus him. And shoot, to make the best man win. Like that's a good feeling.
And what's your mindset when you step out there on the field? Like what are you telling yourself throughout the game? And what are the biggest things that you focus on, like technique-wise in the game?
Hello, my bad. I got the freeze. I was making sure I didn't lose me again. I heard the question though, but it got the freeze.
You want to say
okay,
that again,
cool.
Jamie?
Now, the biggest thing I say, I be telling myself is really go kill, but don't try to do too much. Don't chase no plays, because that's the biggest thing I say. Like as a DB, where you can go wrong, because some of my best games in college, I didn't felt like I didn't have a good game just because it was so quiet. Then the grades and stuff like that come back and I was one of the highest graded safeties. But it was just one of my more quiet games. But you got to know the quiet games be when you were doing your job. So as a DB, it's kind of hard. I say for me at times because I like making plays. Of course, it's kind of hard. Like say guys aren't coming at your way the whole game, or you haven't got tried in a long time. It's hard not to go out there and be like, okay, I'm finna go make a play if they won't come to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's the biggest thing that I try to tell myself. Like just let the game come to you for real, because you doing your job every time, and that's all you really got to do to help your team win.
Corey, what's your weekly routine to prepare for an opponent? I know for team, you guys have position meetings and team meetings and position film, but what do you do by yourself to prepare for a weekly game or weekly routine, I should say?
I watch a lot. I watch a lot of film. Like I'm really a film junkie. But it's really just 'cause I like ball in general. So whatever like team we playing that week, I really go sit down, study their offense, see what they like to do. Study. Then I go study their receivers, see what their receivers like to do, even releases. Just little things like that. Because that's them are the things gonna help you make plays in the game. The little things that nobody see, and that really just come from film watch. Like I would say. If you're a safety, I would say at least like 70% of your plays should come from strictly film watch. And then the rest, you just go out there and be a baller and make some plays. But the like 70% of your plays you should already know they coming from before, just from how much film you watched. And I feel like that's gonna put you in the most successful position. But something I've been getting better at lately, especially since I got to Kansas, because they kind of like big on it here, and they've been big on it on my other schools. But I just kind of been a younger body, so, have fresher legs, stuff like that. But I've been trying to really get into a treatment routine, just because that's something that hasn't been really like a part of my daily schedule. I've always got treatment and did things like that and stayed in the training room, but I really want to take it to the next level where I'm doing treatment even when I'm not hurt. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of maintain my body and keep it at that high level. So them are the two biggest things I try to do game week: film watch and just keep my body ready to go.
Right. I hear you talking about watching film, but it's different when you're actually playing in it on the field, and you've played in a lot of different games, seen a lot of different opponents. So how is playing against different styles of offense help you develop as safety?
Man, that's a big thing too. That I feel like every DB, like once it comes to that game week, you got to know what type of offensive coordinator you playing. That's the biggest thing. Like you said, forget the and I say it like that, but forget the people in the field, because they're getting the calls from the guy in the box. So you got to know who you playing in that box, because I hate to put it like this, but it's just like playing like a video game or something, playing like Madden. Once that guy has certain tendencies, if he knows it works.
Technical difference. We're gonna try to get quarterback in. I guess like he said, the Wi-Fi is bad in the new Kansas facility.
It's just something new. You got to get used to it.
No, but I was interested to see how he's going to finish his perspective on that. But no, he's right, and you're right. You got to know the play call. I'm interested to hear when we get him back and the Wi-Fi settles down. What's the keys he looks for? I know he's watching a lot of film, so he's looking at keys, right? When the ball's lined up, from the quarterback to center, whatever he's the receiver, like the running back, he's looking at certain keys. I want to know what he's going to say about that. But what are you taking from what he's saying? We got him back.
Oh, my bad, man. But the last thing I was gonna say, it's just like the video game. Not to put it like that. Even these offensive coordinators, once they know something works, what they gonna do? They're gonna try it again. So once they know that something that they like to do really works, they not trying to go away from it. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to see, okay, will this work next week? Will this work next week? So most of the time, when you watch that film, it's gonna show up again. Now, they're gonna scheme you and watch your film too. So it's gonna be a few plays that you ain't seen before. But for the 90% most part, like they're trying to stick to what they know.
What keys are you looking at when you line up? Like, are you looking at the running back? Sometimes look at the quarterback, the line, the center, the guard. Because if you watching film, so I mean you out there looking at keys for most of the part, right?
Yep.
So who you looking at most? I know safeties look at the quarterback. So I mean, but
yep. I would honestly say it really just depends what coverage we in. A lot of the times, if we're in like zone coverage or something like that, where I'm going to be more playing off the quarterback, I start off keying the lineman, and we do that to get a run pass read first. That's if I'm in like zone and like I'm the post player or something like that where I'm kind of free roaming. But if I'm in man-to-man coverage, I'm gonna have my eyes on my key. Sometimes if I got a tight end, like I'm gonna have my eyes on that tight end, or say I got a receiver, I'm gonna have my eyes on that receiver.
Corey, I was going to ask this too. What's your favorite zone coverage to play in? AKU Wi-Fi. No, I'm playing. Rock Chalk though. No, yeah. So he is keying. He's keying a lot then. But I didn't realize they didn't key off the lineman like that on zone coverage, free roaming like that.
Yes, if it's a zone read or something, you never know. It's going to be a lot of trickery going on. But the linemen are going to tell you everything. If really their stance, like, are they in a 4-point stance? Do they have a hand in the ground? You're also looking at feet. If they're light on their feet, then they're ready to get up off a block. But if they're more on their heels, they're ready to more like run protect.
Yeah.
Just little things you pick up on.
Can you hear us, Corey?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was walking out that room. I was like, maybe it's this room. Let me try the one across.
We're not gonna hold you for too much longer, bro. I know you've been at the facility.
Oh no, y'all all good, bro. We done for the day. So y'all. So I was gonna say this is y'all ain't even holding me up, man. For real. I'm really my bad for this Wi-Fi holding y'all up, man. If anything.
Is that the film room?
Yeah, that's the film room right here. I'll show y'all.
See, we getting that's dope. Is that the whole team deep room, or is that the position film room?
Nah, it's just where the defense. This is where the defense watch film at right here.
Okay. That is nice.
Yep.
That is nice. That is nice facilities. Brand new. Too.
I don't think that was an understatement when you said that about it's better than most facilities. Because in the league versus college,
it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, just as far as like, not even just like you said, the football stadium, like the weight room and like everything, like the training room, like it's crazy.
No, but going back talking about keys, and you're talking about the zone you keying off the lineman. And Jamin was mentioned too. You can linemen tell a lot about how they line up for 4-point stands. One hand in the ground. But what are you keying off the lineman most of the time?
Man, honestly, I'll tell you a little inside information. For all my DBs out there that they want to know something. Not 90% of the time, I'm gonna tell you like this: you can get keys from those linemen before the ball's even snapped. Because shoot, if it's pass, the lineman he gonna be a little higher. He gonna be a little ready to kick. You know what I'm saying? Ready to get in his pass drive, ready to do his thing. If it's run, he getting down like a bull. He getting low as he can. He getting ready to shoot off that ball. But the biggest thing I say, we got D linemen out there too, so it's kind of hard to see through some of those guys sometimes. So what we like to do, we key to uncover those linemen, and what we mean by that is just the lineman that you can get a view of, that your D lineman is not in front of and that you can see clear, because he gonna tell you everything. If he get off that ball hauling, run. If he get off that ball and kind of drop back, pass, and just like that little quick key will put you so much like further ahead of the play before the ball even, snap, to be honest.
And then this is, just tell like the younger viewers how important it is to watch yourself on film too, to get to know your tendencies so you don't expose too much to any opponent that's watching you as well.
Yeah, you most definitely got to know yourself. You got to know the things that you do well and the things that you got to get better. Because like you said, at the end of the day, these OCs and those guys who watch film, that's their job too, bro. At the end of the day, that's what they do all day long. This is how you play all day long. That's what they do, is watch film and find out ways to beat you all day long. So you got to know those guys are going to come with it too. So you got to watch your film every week and say, dang, okay, I didn't do this right the next week. Like, I better do this right the next week or they're going to make me pay, because that's really how these OCs are, and that's really how they think, and they will make you pay if you don't learn from your mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So as a young player, that's the biggest thing that I'll say you have to do, is really watch that film and, sometimes look yourself in the mirror, even if it's not the result that you wanted. That's what I had to do as a young player, look myself in the mirror and say, dang, that ain't go how I wanted. Then that next year, oh yeah, it was over for people. So that's a big thing. You gotta look in the mirror, and you gotta be willing to not always blame somebody else.
Corey, I got 2 questions for you, Lev. You recorded 53 tackles last season when you had Louisville. What in your game helped you take that big leap? That's a lot of tackles for one season at safety.
I would say just the same thing that we talked about earlier. Film watch and really just studying the defense, knowing my exact job. That's the biggest thing. when it comes to football, you got to know your exact job every play, and that's going to allow you to play so much faster. Like my freshman year, I would say I was kind of just out there. I was knowing my job, but not knowing the reasons why I was doing the job, or not knowing my job to the exact, just thinking I got it as a young dude. But that my last year, when I really was like, okay, I'm going to learn exactly what I got every time the ball is snapped, it allowed me to play so much faster, like, because I already knew, like, before the ball even snapped, I'm thinking of, okay, what do I got right here? Okay, if he goes in motion, what do I got right here? You know what I'm saying? So it really was just the mental aspect of it. I would say, like, it allowed me to play so much faster, just knowing exactly what's going on, and knowing the biggest thing that I really, like, will say took me to the next level the last year was just knowing what others on the field got to do, because that's going to help you, knowing where your help is and knowing where your teammates are and knowing exactly where everybody's going to be. That's going to help your game take off to the next level, not just knowing your job. That was the biggest thing for me. I knew my job, but knowing everybody else's job helped me do my job way better.
And just tell us about how it's been stepping into that leadership role. You got 1 year at Kansas, but you're coming in as one of the more experienced guys. Just tell us about your leadership style and how that's been for you.
Yeah, but I feel like for me, as going into my senior year, that's all you can ask for, bro. A group of guys who want you to come in and lead them and show them the way, and show them how you've seen it done and how you can do it. That's been a really big thing to me.
Corey, this is my last question, bro. I'm gonna thank you for coming on, and I'm excited to watch you play in the Big 12 this year. And I might have to come down for Stilly and watch you play the Pokes. But what motivates you? I know I asked you this a long time ago. I think he froze again, and it's facility. We'll see if we get him back one more time so I can close it out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Miles Perry, Jamin Dawson with me here, Super Command Center, Super Radio. We're talking to Corey Gordon, Kansas safety. Finna close it out here. It's been a long, good show, Jamin.
It really has, but great guests as
Yeah.
always. And then, the caliber of guests continue to evolve.
They do.
Hall of Famer and Coach Robinson. And then we're sitting there talking to Corey Gordon here, one of the most successful players to come out of Oklahoma high school football. There we go.
Corey's going to be my last
What's going
question.
on?
This is going to be my last question for you.
I'm trying to do it for you. I'm sorry.
No, you good.
I don't know why this my phone hurt.
It's been great.
Oh, no, for sure. Y'all know, man.
No,
It's
yeah,
this facility.
Yeah, hey, it's a great facility, though. So, I mean, hey.
That might be a trick,
Can't argue
if
with
you're
that.
not watching film, they might be messing around
Can't
with the
argue
internet a
with
little bit.
It might be.
Can't argue with that.
But this is going to be my last question for you. I asked you this a long time ago, and I got to ask it again now because, I bet it hasn't changed, but it might be some things added in there. So what motivates you to be great? I know you want to be a better man. You talked about that. You want to mature in certain areas, which you have done and you're doing still. But what motivates you, to be great?
I say, honestly, just my family in general, and just seeing along the way how much they put to the side for my success. That motivated me to go even further. Just seeing how much my mom sacrificed, how much my dad sacrificed, how much time they just put into me in general to get me to where I am today. And seeing it pay off, I just want to pay that back to them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, at the end of the day, being like growing up and understanding it, like they didn't have to do all those things for me. It was times my pops was taking off work to make sure I get to my basketball tournament and, stuff like that. So they didn't have to do those things for me. So just, trying to return the favor, that's what really made me want to get up and go do it every day, because just seeing my mama, like, she ain't never took no break, so.
Well, Corey, I'm proud of you. Oklahoma City's proud of you. Your mom is proud of you. I know that for a fact.
Yep.
And I'm probably have to come out there and Stilly when you guys play out there,
Yeah, I was gonna say, my dog. Anytime you want some tickets, anything, I got you. Even if you're gonna come to the new stadium in Kansas, man,
I'm gonna have to take you up on that, because man, KO trying to get me to go to Auburn to see him play Arizona. So
no, that's gonna be a good one. That boy been doing his thing too. That's my dog too.
No, yeah, so I'm gonna have to come. I'm gonna have to travel a little bit, is what it sounds like, this year. So, but no, Corey, I can't wait to watch you play this season. And can you hear me, Corey?
Yep. I don't know why I start cutting. Yeah, I
No,
can hear you though.
No, but I say we can't wait to watch you play, and thank you for coming on. And throughout the season, if you're free, we should have you come back on and talk about what's going on there this season.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. You know, I often say I enjoy doing stuff like this, bro. I told you, shoot, like me, I like talking. That's my major. So one day, shoot, I want to do the same thing you doing, man. I want to be on that microphone one day. So I enjoy this, bro. Like you getting me prepared, bro. I really appreciate you for real for having me.
well,
Y'all
hey,
boys always show me love.
when you come
know
back
that.
home, we should do a show, and we should co-host together then, and
Oh yeah.
and we could we come up with the name of it, but if you want to get in
Yeah,
that. Yeah, so
hey,
I
you
didn't
know
know
we
you
can
was a
make that happen. I'm
communications
telling you,
major.
you know I'm open. Oh yeah, that's what I really want to do, bro. I want to, of course, go to the NFL, but later on, I want to get into sports broadcasting myself. I want to be on there with Stephen A. arguing one day.
Well, you could do it.
No doubt about it. Yeah, you got
could
some good
easily.
promise there.
I can see you on the NFL Network breaking down coverages and how you
Yeah,
talk
real
about
talk.
it on here. So, but no, bro, I appreciate you for coming on. Wish you the best luck this year, and I bet you guys off on Fridays.
Yeah, we don't got practice, but we still got meetings and stuff like that. So
Well, enjoy the physical day off, but the mental day off isn't off. But,
yep,
but
yep.
I stay in touch. But I appreciate you coming on, brother.
Nah, I appreciate y'all for having me again, bro. You know, every time you hit me up, you know I'm down to do it. My dog is just about finding the time and the place. I appreciate you.
No, yeah, hey, Rock Chalk.
Yes, sir. Rock
Hey,
Chalk,
stay
Jayhawks.
healthy, man, bro. Have a great season.
Thank you. I appreciate that, bro.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Cord Gorin, Kansas Jayhawks safety, Putnam City West legend. Jamin, great show.
I'd have to agree. Just speaking on Gordon's interview, we had to overcome some obstacles, man. But I think he's got a great opportunity ahead of him being at KU, being one of the older players. He's one of the better safeties in the nation. So all goes well. He's got a great chance of going to that next level. And I think he has all the potential to do so, man.
He does, and I think he'll get a shot at the next level. I'm excited what he's going to do at Kansas. And I didn't know they played Missouri. It's an old
They got
Big
some
12
big
ma-
games,
That's
man.
an old Big 12 matchup.
He's talking about playing his old team, Baylor, but Baylor looks different. They got Gavin Freeman from Heritage Hall, OU,
They got
Oklahoma
Lagway.
State. Lagway at quarterback.
Quarterback from Florida,
That's going to be a great game.
He does, and I think he'll get a shot at the next level. I'm excited what he's going to do at Kansas. And I didn't know they played Missouri. It's an old
They got
Big
some
12
big
ma-
games,
That's
man.
an old Big 12 matchup.
He's talking about playing his old team, Baylor, but Baylor looks different. They got Gavin Freeman from Heritage Hall, OU,
They got
Oklahoma
Lagway.
State. Lagway at quarterback.
Quarterback from Florida,
That's going to be a great game.
That is going to be a good game.